Hello and welcome to Creativity TV. I am and in this video I will be presenting the frequency weather of the upcoming week, which is I think week 29. And as usual, I already did the drawing of the cards live in a live video in our Creative Entrepreneurs group. That's the community on Facebook, and you're just very welcome to join that. Look it up and click on the button. I will just click you in and ask you to introduce yourself there, and we just go from there. And in this second video I will be giving always a personal reflection on what I just experienced while doing that card drawing, and giving some more insights. And also today I even drew 2 more cards. I will be doing this video fully in English now today, and in the group I just did it this week in both English and Dutch, since the group is bilingual, and I will be seeing if I could do that in these videos as well, or if I just stick to English in these videos. We will have to see that for the future, what would be best. So yeah, I drew cards, but they're from my manifestation for cards for entrepreneurs deck, and I'm still in the course of making it. So that's my creative project, one of my creative projects that I'm doing right now, and it is supposed to be looking a bit like this, and this is also just halfway. I mean, only halfway creating. That's the 3rd version, but I drew cards from the 1st edition. The 2nd one is sold out. The 1st edition looks like nothing, but it works. It works for me, so I can convey messages. The frequency weather is meant to be a tool to resonate, to come into resonance with the universe, your personal, unique, creative ID, and your surroundings. So that's all the powers that we want to connect to be our full potential in being a creator. In whichever creative project you are, whether it's an artistic project that you can just complete in one afternoon, or it's a creative business, or a creative entrepreneurship with like businesses all over the world. I mean, it doesn't matter, the size doesn't matter, the scale doesn't matter. What matters is how you stand into it, and from what mentality and emotion and intention you're coming in this soul moment that you're into, and that you can connect to every time again into your soul again, because that's where creation comes from. Eventually, all creation, whether it's artistic, business, health-wise, or whatever kind of creation. And that's also the place where you can find the continuity in yourself, from that place of creation to the place of creation, yeah, to the place of creativity into the world. That's how it all connects together. If you can gather yourself within your soul and really let that be the feeling ground of your whole experience again. That's how you create continuity, and continuity is just very dear to my heart, because it took me 10 years to consciously work myself towards giving up the contradiction of the outer and the inner, of the almost addiction to keeping that being separate, the separateness into place. And I spent all my money and time on that, so that you just know. So I drew a card in a group, and it was an A series. It's an opener, and it means it's the star cards. You have this new idea, this new star that's coming through you. But the contradiction in this card is that it says that you might be a lot better equipped to feel yourself yourself into your star from this moment, when you're sort of collected and maybe a bit held back, because then you can feel in your heart what is actually already present and combine that in a new way, so that it just creates the new star from what is already so very much valuable. And the second card then said that when we are there, this was a very complex card, I say a lot more about it in the group video. When we are at that place, then we can start to understand that we sometimes better not look into our process of moving to a goal, but much rather understand how our soulfully energy of creation gets through our heart outside of us, and our unique code in that. And take a moment or this week to feel into that. That's your creative identity. That's your how. That's your where your soul creates. That's your procedure. Take a moment to feel into that and let that take over your heart and expand your heart. And because that could just be the key to then afterwards being very rapid in your moving forward. So, and then we get into the self-acknowledgement that leads to value. That was the third card. And value always starting in the frequency, in the energy of it, and then becoming quickly, when it's clear over there, it becomes quickly material value, which is also money, of course. That's why frequency weather is always also about money, moving money, because it's moving energy. Moving money, moving energy is same sort of frequency-wise thing, same movements in another area, in another field of action. So, because we support each other with our creative businesses in the group Creative Entrepreneurs, this is always a very important theme, of course. So today I was led to just draw a few more cards to have some more clarity, and I just like to do that sometimes. This is the Magdalene Oracle, which I like a lot. It's a beautiful oracle card deck by Tony Carmine Salerno, and the card is decision. You can see a drop coming from a sort of a full moon. It's the full moon today of the 9th of July, so that could be very much the case, but it also doesn't have to be a moon. I mean, it's just a painting, and a drop coming from a hole. So a decision coming from the whole of you or from your soul, it can also mean. And falling into the water of your feelings under the clouds in a dark night sky where everything is mysterious. And so to make a decision. So I just got this feeling of the pronunciation of this decision moment in this whole action that I described and also in live video and group a lot more, that it will lead to a heartfelt decision, and that is also what will bring you rapidly forward afterwards, because that's what decisions do. That's also when you come onto business level with your energy, with your behavior, you know, everything is clear for you. You have your creative identity in check, you have your creative products and services in place, you have all your business structures and systems into place. So fear will always accompany us on our next step, because that's the nature of being a human and being a creator in the moment. So don't be afraid of the fear, you see? that's a better mentality and a better emotion, a better intention, but you have to fully process that to be able to really feel that and let that be. I mean, that was my experience, let's put it like that. I had to fully process that, and it took me a lot of years to get to that place of losing the overly anxiety and embracing the fear and having a relationship with the fear that guides me on my way, and then that fear that guides me on every new step in fact gets a very nice accompanier or guidance even, which is very special to see, I have to say. And then we have the infinite abundance card. You are fully supported when you are devoting yourself to your universal or even holy life goal. However you feel about those two words, like universe or God, it's just a matter of taste as far as I'm concerned. So, and this card is from the mission card deck of Doreen Virtue, and I also love them a lot. In the group I have a thread where you can ask me to pick your own green card, and I will say a lot of things about that as well, especially for you. So if you like that, join the group. So yes, unending, overflowing richnesses of your natural birthright will stem from that. From embracing your fear, from getting onto business level as a creator, from being able to make the decision and let it be made, let the decision fall. Because on a business level we say that we create or take the decision, but on a spiritual level, which is on another level parallel the same for me when I say business level. That's how I create within Meconomy as a creative entrepreneur. That's what we're doing, that's what I'm sharing, that's what my mission is about. But I wanted to add that as well, that piece that on a spiritual level, making a decision means that you just let it fall, that you give the space so that it can fall. And that is indeed what I also experience in the most important business decisions that I made in my entire career, that it falls. Like for instance, how do I decide to publish my own books? Like there is a novel coming up for years already. It's already sold, but it's still not coming out. And my relationship to my national official publisher, literary publisher, that did a lot with my poetry, at this point, also for some years already, is not in the place where this is going to take place. But taking the decision to fully stand up and publish my own novel is something that is taking me years already. But I feel now that I'm reaching that place now finally. So really reaching that place. From letting it fully happen now, finally, in a spiritual and business sense. Not that I never published, self-published, because I did since I was 16 in 1996. So that's when I made my first own book that I actually sold for money. It was a poetry collection of poetry. So that's not the point. It is a far vaster point of how I personally feel about the novel, what it will be doing to the audience, what the topic will be doing. It's a lot about sexuality, what it will be doing to my career, if I stand behind it fully in all aspects, if I can make, if I can afford the money that it will cost me, if I can afford the work that will be involved in publishing it myself, if I want to take responsibility for all the reactions that might come my way at this specific moment in my private life, etc. You know, and finishing the book, seeing if I may be doing another editing round, if I need another editor, who that might be, how much time would that take, etc. So there is so much involved into all of these decisions, and in the end it's about a spiritual ripening process that makes your decision fall and also increases your ability to let decisions be fallen. I don't know if that's correct English. To be able to give the space to your own decision to fall like that from the soul in the fertile grounds of your, well, in fact from your soul, maybe in your head area, in where inspiration comes in, into your sexuality, there it is again, in your water sexuality area, in your lower abdomen and in your genitalia, to just give it that very, sometimes even nervous or fearful, there it is again, space to ooze out its natural, also sexual energy, because energy is really a sexual subject, by the way. And then it can just ooze out its energy and create its own space and its own success. And I wish that for you, and I wish this message to be of service to you for the upcoming week. I hope to see you on the other side of the group barrier on Facebook, Creative Entrepreneurs Sharing Their Heart's Mission, and see you very soon again.